Most people do not fail because life is too hard. They fail because they keep waiting to feel ready. That waiting becomes a habit, and that habit becomes a life. And one day you wake up and call your prison your personality. If the honest part of you is still alive, subscribe and stay close, because this is not for the part of you that wants comfort. This is for the part of you that wants his life back. Let's tell the truth no one likes to hear. You are not one great decision away from changing everything. You are one daily decision repeated again and again and again away from changing everything. That is harder to hear because it means the answer is not magic, it is not luck, it is not perfect timing, it is not some secret morning routine only special people know. It is discipline. Discipline makes the impossible possible. Discipline makes the impossible possible. And before I go harder, I want you to know something. I know you are tired. I know what it feels like to promise yourself that tomorrow will be different, then watch tomorrow arrive and do the same thing again. I know what it feels like to sit with guilt at night and make deals with yourself in the dark. I know what it feels like to want a better body, a better mind, a better life, and still feel stuck in the same loop. So this is not me talking down to you. This is me grabbing you by the shoulders and saying, wake up. Because if you do not break the loop will break you. Here is the truth bomb. Your life is not mainly shaped by what you want. It is shaped by what you repeat. You can want peace and repeat chaos. You can want money and repeat wasting time. You can want strength and repeat comfort. You can want a new life and still protect the habits that built the old one. Think about that. A lot of people say they want change, but what they really want is a reward without a routine. They want results without rules. They want the view from the top without the climb in the dark. But life does not work like that. Life pays on actions, not wishes. Picture one push-up. Just one. It looks small, almost too small to matter. But nobody gets stronger by doing 1,000 push-ups in their head. Nobody changes by imagining effort. The body changes through reps. The mind changes through reps. Your future changes through reps. One push-up becomes 10. 10 becomes 50. 50 becomes a habit. A habit becomes a body. A body becomes confidence. Confidence becomes a different life. That is how the impossible starts moving. Not with a huge moment, with a small, repeatable act. The same thing is true when the alarm goes off. Most people think the fight is with sleep. It is not. The fight is with the lie that says 1 more minute will not matter. That lie is deadly because it is never just 1 more minute. It becomes 1 more delay, 1 more excuse, 1 more weak agreement with the lower version of you. Days become weeks, weeks become months, months become years. Then people look at the gap between who they are and who they could have been and call it bad luck. No, it was not bad luck. It was unguarded repetition. You do not need to win the next 10 years today. You need to win the next choice. Get up, make the bed, do the work, finish the set, read the page, make the call, save the money, turn off the noise. Not because each act looks huge, but because each act casts a vote. Every action says something. Every action says this is who I am. Every delay says something too. Every delay says maybe later. Every shortcut says maybe not really. Every excuse says maybe I do not trust myself enough to follow through. And that is where discipline becomes beautiful. People talk about discipline like it is punishment. It is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. It is the proof that your word means something to you. It is you saying, I do not need to feel perfect to move. I do not need applause to move. I do not need permission to move. I move because I said I would. That is power. Quiet power, real power, not loud, not flashy, not online, real. The impossible only looks impossible to the person measuring the whole mountain. The disciplined person does not stare at the whole mountain all day. He looks for the next step, then the next one, then the next one. He does not ask, can I do everything forever? He asks, can I do the right thing now? He turns fear into focus. He turns panic into process. He turns a dream into a schedule. Let that settle in. There are people with less talent than you living better than you because they learned one thing you keep trying to avoid. They learned how to obey their own best voice instead of their weakest mood. They learned that feelings are visitors, but standards must stay. They learned that motivation is a spark, but discipline is the firewood. Sparks feel amazing. Firewood looks boring, but boring things built right can keep you warm for years. So stop waiting to become a new person before you act. Act, and the new person starts showing up. Stop asking whether you feel ready. Ready is not a feeling. Ready is a decision. Stop worshiping the idea of change while protecting the habits that destroy it. You do not need another speech to save you if you keep doing nothing after the speech ends. The person capable of changing your life is already in the mirror. The question is not whether he exists. The question is whether you will finally let him lead. So tell me, how much longer are you going to call delay a plan? A house is not built in one day, but it can be ruined in one day if the builder stops caring. That is your life. Brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day. We love big dreams because they feel clean. We hate daily work because it feels slow. But the dream is only real if it can survive contact with a Tuesday, not a perfect Sunday night promise. A Tuesday, a tired morning, a boring afternoon, a lonely evening. That is where the wall gets built. See, people celebrate the roof, but they forget the brick. They admire the finished body, but forget the meals skipped, the workouts done, the nights ended early, the mornings started when no one was watching. They admire calm confidence, but forget the 1,000 moments a person chose silence over drama, patience over panic, purpose over pleasure. Every strong life is a wall laid brick by brick. If you throw down one brick with care today, you are not behind, you are building. Now think about the opposite. If every day you lay crooked bricks, you are also building. If you sleep through your promises, you are building. If you spend money to impress people who do not even think about you, you are building. If you keep feeding distraction and starving your purpose, you are building. But you are building a weak wall, and weak walls always fall under pressure. That is why some people break when life gets heavy. They did not suddenly become weak. They were building weakness in private for years. This is why small things matter so much. A lot of people want a dramatic comeback story, but real comebacks are plain at first. A person drinks water instead of poison. A person opens the notebook instead of the app. A person goes for the walk instead of waiting for the perfect gym plan. A person saves $20 instead of wasting $200. A person tells the truth instead of telling a polished lie. Small brick, small brick, small brick. Then one day, the wall is standing where empty space used to be. And here is the part people miss. Discipline is not only about building success, it is about building trust with yourself. When you keep one promise to yourself, something inside you gets quieter in a good way. The noise drops, the shame drops, the war in your chest starts to ease. Why? Because deep down you know you can finally rely on you. That matters more than people understand. A man who trusts himself walks different. He speaks different. He handles pain different. He does not need to announce his goals all the time because his actions are already talking. Maybe nobody claps for you right now. Maybe nobody sees the brick you laid today. Maybe the room is quiet. Maybe your phone is silent. Maybe your effort feels invisible. Good. Learn to love that season. Learn to love honest work that does not get posted. Learn to love progress that does not need praise. Because if your work only lives when people notice it, then your work is weak. Real builders keep building in silence. Think of the days when you do not feel it. Those are not useless days. Those are the test days. Anybody can feel strong when life is easy. Anybody can post a plan. Anybody can talk big when the sun is out. But can you lay a brick when your mood is low? Can you keep your word when no one checks? Can you do the plain thing that moves life forward when excitement is gone? That is where your future gets decided. Your future is not asking you for one giant act of heroism. It is asking you for steady hands. It is asking you for another brick, another clean choice, another honest hour, another finished task. That is how debt gets paid. That is how bodies change. That is how skill grows. That is how peace returns, not in one shout, in quiet stacks, in daily bricks, in long obedience to a clear purpose. And listen to me carefully. The impossible is often just the unbuilt. That body you want is unbuilt. That business is unbuilt. That peace is unbuilt. That sharp mind is unbuilt. That new life is unbuilt. Stop staring at the empty lot and crying that nothing is there. Pick up a brick. Discipline makes the impossible possible because it teaches your hands to keep working when your feelings try to quit. So what are you building with your days right now? A future you can stand in, or a story you will have to explain away? Life moves in seasons, whether you respect that or not. There is winter, there is spring, there is summer, there is harvest. The problem is that most people want harvest in a season meant for planting. They want proof before patience. They want fruit before roots. They want the reward while still hating the work that grows it. But the ground does not care about your impatience. The ground answers what you plant and what you water. There is a kind of pain that comes in winter. It is the pain of doing the work and seeing almost nothing yet. That pain is real. Waking up early and still not being where you want to be, that hurts. Saving money and still feeling behind, that hurts. Training your body and still not seeing the mirror change fast enough, that hurts. Studying when your friends are out, that hurts. I will not lie to you about that. Discipline has pain in it, but so does regret. So does staying the same. So does becoming the kind of person who keeps abandoning himself. Choose your pain. Winter is where people quit because winter is quiet. No leaves, no flowers, no crowd, just cold ground and hidden roots. But hidden does not mean dead. Hidden does not mean pointless. Hidden work matters. Hidden work is where real strength grows. When you keep showing up in a season that gives you almost no reward, you are building something most people never build. You are building depth. You are building patience. You are building a mind that does not need fast proof to stay faithful. Look at the tree in winter. If you judge too early, you would think nothing is happening. But beneath the ground, life is still at work. Roots are reaching. Strength is forming. The tree is preparing for a season people will praise later. That is you when you keep working in silence. That is you when you keep your standards on the days that look empty. You are not failing because results are slow. You are rooting. And here is another hard truth. Some of you are not tired from effort. You are tired from inconsistency. Starting, stopping, restarting, apologizing, promising, delaying. That cycle drains the soul. It is exhausting to carry the weight of your own unfinished business. It is exhausting to know what you should do and keep not doing it. The answer is not more hype. The answer is fewer breaks between your good choices. The answer is rhythm. The answer is staying with it long enough for the work to stop feeling like a stranger. Discipline is not a cage. It is a season maker. It creates spring by respecting winter. It creates harvest by surviving boredom. It creates confidence by staying in motion when results are late. When you understand this, you stop getting offended by slow progress. You stop quitting just because the outside has not caught up to the inside yet. You stop treating every hard week like a sign to give up. Hard weeks are not strange. Hard weeks are part of the contract. No one plants a seed on Monday and digs it up on Friday to ask why it is not a tree yet. But that is what many people do with their goals. They start, then panic, they commit, then doubt, they work, then complain that the world is not rewarding them fast enough. Be wiser than that. Be steadier than that. Put the seed in the soil, water it, guard it, wait, work, repeat. There will be days when you wonder whether any of this is doing anything. Those are the days that matter most. Those are the days when discipline turns from a nice idea into a real weapon. Because when you can keep going without fresh proof, you become dangerous in the best way. You become hard to stop. You become the person who does not need life to be easy to stay on path. That person wins sooner or later. Maybe not fast, but deeply, solidly, for real. And remember this, the pain of discipline speaks once. The pain of regret echoes for years. One asks for effort now, the other takes your peace later. One burns the body, the other haunts the mind. One makes you stronger, the other makes you bitter. Discipline makes the impossible possible because it keeps you faithful through seasons that weaker minds misread as failure. So answer me honestly. Are you really in pain from the work, or are you in pain from becoming the person who keeps quitting? Take a magnifying glass into the sun, hold it too wide, and nothing happens. Bring the light into one point and it burns. That is focus. That is discipline. Most people do not have a time problem, they have a scattered life problem. Their energy is everywhere, their attention is everywhere. Their promises are everywhere. A little effort here, a little hope there, a little work, a lot of noise. Then they wonder why nothing catches fire. Look at your day. How much of it belongs to you? How much of it gets stolen by random scrolling, random drama, random messages, random cravings, random fear? A distracted life feels busy, but busy is not the same as effective. Motion is not the same as progress. Noise is not the same as growth. You can spend all day doing things and still betray the one thing that matters most. Think about that. Discipline is not only about what you do, it is also about what you refuse. Refuse the extra hour of mindless escape. Refuse the fake urgency of every notification. Refuse the people who laugh at your standards because your standards make their excuses look weak. Refuse the food, the habit, the place, the pattern that keeps draining your future. Sometimes the biggest step forward is one clean no. You do not need to hate pleasure. You need to stop letting pleasure lead. Comfort is a good servant and a terrible master. When comfort leads, you avoid hard talks, hard work, hard truths. You dodge the gym, you dodge the book, you dodge the budget, you dodge the mirror. Then life sends you a bill, and the bill always comes with interest. The bill for delay, the bill for denial, the bill for living below your own standard. A focused man is powerful because he stops leaking himself. He does not give his best energy to things that give nothing back. He knows every yes costs something. He knows every no protects something. He knows his attention is a life force, not a toy. That is why he chooses carefully. Not perfectly, carefully. He falls sometimes, sure. But he does not make a home in falling. He gets up fast. He gets clear fast. He returns to center fast. Maybe your next level is not hidden in doing more. Maybe it is hidden in cutting more. Cutting what wastes you. Cutting what weakens your mornings. Cutting what poisons your thoughts. Cutting what keeps pulling your mind into 10 directions. The sun is already strong. It does not need more power. It needs focus. You are already carrying more potential than you use. You do not need a different soul. You need a sharper point. And yes, this will upset some people. The moment you become disciplined, you become less available for nonsense, less available for gossip, less available for proving yourself, less available for the habits that help everyone else stay average. Some people will call you distant when really you are becoming directed. Some people will say you changed like that is an insult. Good, change. You were not born to stay easy to distract. Stop asking whether everyone understands your path. Stop asking whether your old friends approve. Stop asking whether the crowd agrees with your standards. Crowds love comfort. Crowds love delay. Crowds love excuses that sound kind, but the crowd will not live with your regret. The crowd will not carry your wasted years. The crowd will not fix the life you neglected while trying to fit in. Discipline makes the impossible possible because it gathers your scattered power and points it at one worthy thing long enough to change reality. The life you want may not need more talent from you. It may just need less leakage, less distraction, less drifting, less surrender to cheap comfort. So whose voice are you obeying when you betray your own future for one more hour of comfort? Now let's go deeper. At some point, this stops being about habits and starts being about identity. Not the fake kind people post online, the real kind, the kind you meet in private, the kind that answers when the alarm rings, when the room is empty, when the work is hard, when the outcome is still uncertain. Who are you then? Because that person is the one building your life. There are two versions of you fighting every day. One wants ease, escape, and excuses. The other wants truth, growth, and peace. One wants now. The other wants later, but better. One says relax, you can start tomorrow. The other says start now, and tomorrow will thank you. One protects feelings. The other builds a future. And the war is not won once. It is won daily, sometimes hourly, sometimes minute by minute. That is why discipline is so powerful. It settles the argument. It keeps you from voting against your own future every time your mood changes. It teaches your body and your mind a new chain of command. Feelings can speak, but they do not get final say. Fear can speak, but it does not drive. Laziness can show up, but it does not lead the meeting. You lead. Your higher voice leads. Your better standard leads. Imagine a staircase in the dark. From the bottom, you cannot see the whole top. That scares a lot of people. They want full proof before full effort. But the staircase does not reveal itself that way. You step, then see. You step, then learn. You step, then gain balance. The next stair appears because you use the one under your foot. That is life. Clarity comes through movement. Strength comes through movement. Confidence comes through movement. Not in waiting, not in wishing, not in hiding, in movement. One day, if you stay with this long enough, something strange happens. The thing you once called impossible starts feeling normal. Waking early gets normal. Keeping your word gets normal. Finishing what you start gets normal. Saving money gets normal. Working out gets normal. Reading gets normal. Calm gets normal. The impossible did not vanish because the world changed. It vanished because you changed. Your standard moved. Your mind hardened. Your self-respect deepened. Discipline makes the impossible possible because it changes the person attempting the task. And that is the secret most people miss. The goal is not only to get the thing. The goal is to become the kind of person who can carry the thing. A weak man with success destroys it. A scattered man with money wastes it. An undisciplined man with opportunity fumbles it. So maybe life is not denying you to punish you. Maybe life is waiting for you to become steady enough to hold what you keep asking for. Let that settle in. I want you to picture your future self for a moment. Not some fantasy version, a real one. Stronger shoulders, clearer eyes, a calmer face, better habits, less chaos, more control. He walks into rooms without the old shame on his back. He pays his bills on time. He speaks with weight because he has lived with standards. He keeps promises. He sleeps with peace. He looks in the mirror and does not have to look away. That man is not made in one burst of motivation. He is carved by daily discipline. And if you keep playing small, he stays unborn. If you keep choosing comfort over calling, he stays locked away. If you keep delaying the simple things, you delay the powerful life hiding inside simple things. This is the part where you stop saying, someday. This is the part where you stop waiting for a sign. This is the sign. This is the moment the old story starts losing power. Discipline makes the impossible possible. It always has. It always will. Remember how this started. Most people do not fail because life is too hard. They fail because they keep waiting to feel ready. Do not leave this moment and fall back asleep inside your own excuses. Do not turn truth into entertainment. Do not nod your head tonight and betray yourself tomorrow morning. Stand up different. Choose one hard thing and do it before this day ends. Make the call. Take the walk. Open the book. Do the set. Delete the poison. Start the plan. Let action speak before fear gets another turn. And then imagine a year from now. You wake up early without fighting yourself. Your body feels lighter. Your mind feels cleaner. Your bank account breathes easier. Your room is in order. Your word has weight. Your family sees the change in your face before you say a thing. You walk past old temptations like they belong to a stranger. You smile not because life got easy, but because you got stronger. And in that quiet moment, you will know this was the night you stopped waiting to feel ready and started becoming ready. So when the lower voice whispers later, answer it with action. When fear says, slow down, answer it with a step. When doubt says, who do you think you are? Answer it with work. You are the one who builds. You are the one who decides. You are the one who can turn pressure into power. No excuses, no waiting, no quitting. just discipline, just action, just becoming unstoppable.